two, one, zero.
On the extreme sides of liquidity. So that's why, like, to be so definitive about, oh, bull run, bear run, like there's nothing definitive really
No, we're in
about.
a range, and that's like the whole point to get in mind. Like we're range
Yeah.
bound right now, and to assume range expansion, that's never when it's rare. Sorry, I don't want to say never, but it's when people are assuming range expansion is rarely when range expansion actually occurs, right? So we can chop around in this range, guys, for at least another 4 weeks, at least in my opinion, right? So if we go back to the 2019 echo bubble, Trip, if you want to just take the weekly view for a sec, and then just scroll back to 2019, just to give viewers like an understanding of what actually happened when we definitively broke out of that range. We literally consolidated. I think it was for like 6 or 7 weeks above 4K to like the 5 to 6K range before we actually made the move. I think it was after that TD9, there was that 4 or 5 candles.
This one?
No, left all the way. Right after the 4K breakout from the bottom at 3K.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
One,
exactly,
two,
right there.
three. So we have 3 weeklies right now.
Okay, so
Over here, and like this is like pretty significant resistance, right? If you just look at like where 32 down to 17, like, okay, so we did, I don't know, I guess count as wick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks here. So does it make sense for price to come down lower to really test the buyers? Because like this stuff up here, look, it can break out, but like it just seems like it's getting a little tired.
agreed.
So it, like, I don't know, nothing's really comparable to up here, but always these points of like distribution, they're not supposed to be that clear. Like it's very confusing up here. And so, ETH, similar instance, like, okay, like here's your resistance block, right? Like, do I think things can come like all the way down here and really rinse people? Yeah, I do. Do I know when it's going to happen? No. Where would that put BTC? Like maybe you're coming down to like really test.
23, 24, dude.
Yeah, that zone. Would it be healthy? Yeah, probably. Um, because I feel like if you just run this from here, given liquidity and I don't know, just some of the higher time frame signals I'm looking at. I mean, is the S&P coming into resistance here? Can this pull back? Yeah, everyone's super bearish on the dollar, and typically when this happens, it starts to move up. It hasn't yet, but I don't know. I think it's a tricky distribution up here for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm looking at the 3-day nines. ETH obviously is extended on the long side right now. BTC's not, so we have this flip flop back and forth between them as people trade it. And there's some interesting, altcoin deltas that obviously we've been looking at, Lido being one of them. So yeah, I don't have a strong view and direction of breakout or breakdown really at any point in this time, because we haven't violated any levels to where you can say to yourself, it's definitively going to go up or break down, right? We're still
But on the topic of ETH BTC, right? Someone's saying weekly resistance SR flip around 6-7. Yeah, there's the week or the 4-hour edge to edge, which you guys hear me talk about a lot, right? So that target is like 678. We had that move down out of the cloud, came back into it, chopped, and now we're kind of pushing up into it. But ETH BTC is looking tired at this point. It does have probably another, what do I call it, 2% move, which could translate to some Bitcoin or Ethereum strength when we come actually back down to it. If Bitcoin starts going down, ETH might show some strength on the way down. But when they try to drag the market up with ETH, all that tells me is that Bitcoin is tired. This range does feel very distributive. And if I show you guys this chart, try not to get too upset. But when I look at this, this is your classic Wyckoff distribution model, right? And it's like, okay, this might evoke some emotion. This is obviously not the top. What are you fucking talking about? It's all good. Whatever you want to say about it is fine. But I just like to look at this to to get a gauge for, what would potentially happen. And I shared this in the Tools of the Trade Telegram channel, which again, guys, if you're not in, it's in the description below. It's a free Telegram channel where Trip and I basically share all our thoughts and trades in real time. But neither here nor there, are we going to get this upthrust after distribution? Was this the upthrust at 29K and we just basically came back down immediately off that next hour? But all I'm seeing here is that, are we going to sweep 29.2K for a UTAD? Or are we going to go with, that other schematic where we just come in for a lower high somewhere above? So flipping back to that Bitcoin liquidity chart, if we're looking at Hyblock, there is liquidity to be had above 28.6. Let's see here if we zoom in. But again, I'm seeing all these green buyers come in, and I hate to see that on a move up, because that just tells me it's setting the bait for longs. And if prices do come back down, it's going to be a nasty unwind. But like just looking here, I see a lot of liquidity. So the biggest one that sticks out to me is 28.7K. There's about 170 mil there. And then all this gets darker from the previous licks here. But to me, 28.7K in relation to, 28K that we had here, that to me sets the stage for a lower high. So when I look at things objectively, and I try to be very objective in my trading, at least as much as possible, and try to not have a bias, right? You guys see me flip-flop 100 times on Twitter, and the reason being is because I'm just trying to trade level to level. I have a core swing BTC short right now, but that's really the only core position I'm holding, just because I really believe that, if this is distribution and we're going to go back to, that 30K level or that 24K level, and I pull up Ichimoku Cloud, there's still, there's still, a point where we're in this range, we distribute down, we come down here, maybe even down to the Kijun, and then maybe try again for 31K. So